Hey, what's up? It is Michelle here with Swipe in the City. Of course, I've got Marie with me and Sammy. We are recording today from Wanderlust Wine Company. Not just wine, not one. There's more than one wine here.
But not to be confused with Wanderlust Yoga. This is very different and a lot more drunk.
Yeah, someone thought we said we were going to yoga today. As I had a seltzer in my hand, I was like, that doesn't really make a ton of sense, but here we are. So this is the first in a new series we want to do for y'all. It's basically going to be featuring some of our favorite date spots, currently in Austin, but maybe in the future we'll be featuring Portland or Chicago as well.
Someday when we can travel again properly.
So we're gonna kick it off. Sammy is the owner and badass at Wanderlust Wine Company. Sammy, why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself to start?
Thank you for having me on the show. Let's go. Guys, welcome to this awesome podcast. This is Sammy from Wanderlust Wine Company, not Wanderlust Yoga, but we are flexible for wine. So let's go. Namaste at the bar. So we are the largest wine on tap winery in the world. We have upwards of 56 wines. We're currently representing 8 countries, and we're looking to beef those numbers up. It's also self-pour, so you come in, especially if you're on a date, you get to create your own self-discovery journey. So you are the sommelier, you are your date. So great opportunity to just have that full, intimate time with your partner and break that ice by trying different wines and not feel intimidated by wine, but actually use it as a social liquid lubricant to kind of facilitate the date.
So, Sammy, how did you get started with Wanderlust? Like, where did this come from? Because you're a fairly new business. You actually opened during the pandemic, right?
Oh yeah. It's been quite the year. So
It's been 84 years.
I've been traveling around for wine, and I thought, or I guess my family was the one that was asking me to come back to Texas, and I never thought I'd come back for wine here, but actually Texas has the second most visited wine region in the world after Napa.
Really?
It's actually the Hill Country, which is an hour away from Austin. So I said, I wanted to create a new concept that would kind of vibe with the new techie vibe or culture that we have in downtown Austin, and with the self-pour technology was the perfect pairing, if you will. So I decided to try it out, and we got this hidden gem right here in the gateway of downtown, and needed a lot of TLC, but we got it up and running. I mean, it's decent enough to enjoy 1 or 10 different glasses of wine, so definitely come and visit, check us out.
Yeah, I didn't realize Hill Country was like the second most.
Oh yeah.
I would have thought,
Oregon,
yeah.
Valley.
So in terms of
That's interesting.
Not in terms of quality for sure. We're definitely making our footprint in the world of wine, and especially in the U.S. But it is in terms of wine visit or wine tourism. So
Okay.
if you think about Austin, I mean Texas, we love to party. We know how to party,
We
especially
do.
Austin being such a destination place. Naturally, it would be a place that people would come and fly into and then party and then go to the Hill Country because it's so close.
That makes sense.
So that's why it was like the prime spot, especially for a new concept, because we are only doing keg wine at the moment. It was going to be this opportunity to try something new and have a community that would support something weird and off the beaten path. So keeping Austin weird.
Keep
and
Austin
hydrated
weird.
with wine. So
We're dehydrated.
I gotta go check on
Yeah.
something
Okay,
real quick.
yeah.
But
We'll pause real quick. and
We'll
come
pause.
back.
okay, cool.
So, as y'all know, we are huge fans of Wanderlust Wine Company. Marie, what about Wanderlust do you feel makes it a good date spot?
Where do I start? I mean, I'm personally a big fan of wine, so I love being able to come here and having like a good selection and not really having like a whole heck of a lot of pressure. It's kind of, I mean, obviously y'all know we love beer and we love breweries. I feel like you get kind of that same chill brewery vibe here than you would get there. And it's not uppity. Like, one of the things I hate about going to
Like a wine bar.
a wine bar,
Yeah.
is like you sit down and I feel like you're kind of talking like that. Not to be rude. I love wine again, but like I feel like it's just a very different energy, and you're a little bit more like, I must sit proper like this.
It's kind of funny because like I don't like describing this as a wine bar. I feel like that's the closest thing to compare it to, but it really is just like chill brewery vibes, which for me on a first date, I'm like, I don't want to be like, when I honestly just like don't want to really dress up, let's be honest. Like I want to wear my Jurassic Park t-shirt and some like denim shorts.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just very chill. They also just do like a ton of events here. One thing that I think is cool as well is like, because it's wine on tap and you're serving yourself, there's a lot more opportunity to like, it's kind of more of an activity. Like you can be interactive and you can like, I mean, I usually just get the same thing every time I come here.
I mean, same.
But you could definitely just do like samples and you guys could try like different wines. I just think it's like a good opportunity. Plus they have...
I was going to say it's like a DIY tasting. Like you can give yourself, like the first couple of times I came here, I did little tiny pours. So you can kind of get that feeling without actually doing it. Sorry, go ahead.
Totally. I actually had a Tinder date last week, I think. I don't know. The days run together.
It's been a million years.
Always. I was on a Tinder date and we had to get tacos because he's like from out of town, had to have tacos in Austin. But I was describing this place and literally he like lit up and he's like, we have to check it out. And it was just a really good like second stop too.
Yeah.
Because like, we just got to come here, we got to chill, drink some wine.
You'd already had food.
We'd already had food. That being said,
I was just gonna go there. This is literally like my favorite Italian food in town. Anybody who knows me, knowing I'm from Chicago, I have very high standards when it comes to Italian food. And I have spent years looking for like a place that is not only good, but in a good price range. And so the heel of the boot, it's a food truck that is on premises. And literally it is hands down the best Italian food. Honestly, the best Italian food I've had in the continental United States.
Whoa.
So like it's fucking legit as hell. And we've got Sammy back now.
Sammy's back. We lost him for a minute.
We're just talking. We're talking you up. We're telling everybody what a great date spot this is, how much we love heel of the boot. But the other thing I like too is the lack of pressure, because since it is a food truck, you're serving your own wine. You can get food, you can not get food, you can just get wine, you can get a charcuterie board.
Which we love.
Bitches love charcuterie.
And y'all said it right too.
Barely. You should see the charcuterie boards I make at home. It's like, it's just a bunch of cheese on like a paper plate. Like that's who I am as a person, let's be honest.
Yeah, that's definitely you in a nutshell.
But no, I agree with you. I think it's just low pressure, right?
Yeah.
Because you can, if you wanted to just do one glass of wine and go, I feel like if you go somewhere and you order wine, a lot of times you end up getting a bottle and then you have to kind of like, A, you might not like it that much and you got a whole bottle.
Yeah.
Or B, like you have to hang out for the duration of that. Whereas here, like, you can have 4 ounces of wine, or you can, have more than that. I was going to be like 100 ounces.
I just finished mine. I started off with a Prosecco. I'm probably going to switch and grab one of the Chardonnay, or not the Chardonnay, the Cabernets, because I'm just like in a red wine mood now.
You're in a vibe.
I was in a Prosecco mood for brunch, and now it's time for nighttime.
For some more serious wine. Daniela Hannah 68 would be very proud.
I know.
This is also Daniela Hannah 68 approved. So if you actually listen to our podcast, she was our 10th episode. We recorded here. Hilarious. If you have not heard it, she's going to give you like
go and listen.
A talk.
It's amazing.
But yeah, so I just think it's an awesome date spot to kind of circle back. We were talking to Sammy about how it started. As this is a dating podcast, Sammy, are you currently single, dating?
Yeah, I had to get out of the game because it's so tempting with everybody here dating all the time. So I gotta calm down and get out of the game.
Settle down.
Someone at the moment, but yeah, I mean, like y'all were saying, we wanted to provide an opportunity for people to not have that pressure right on their first date. Like you don't know what to order, and here you're creating an experience together, and like. I think a lot of great relationships start with like either inside jokes or something that you can immediately connect with, and so
totally.
Like, both sampling
That's
different
great
wines,
advice.
come together over a glass of wine that you both are crazy about, and then boom, that's a talking point right there.
Yeah.
And we're super relaxed. We're not like your typical like wine spot, which is a niche here in Austin for sure.
There's not a lot of good like wine places in Austin either. Most of them are like the equivalent of box stores.
Yeah. So we're breaking barriers, and we want to break your barriers. You can't even speak. You might have already had a few glasses of wine here, but
We're here to break your barriers, as said by Sammy himself.
But come on in. Wine Wednesday is the easiest time to meet people. I mean,
And 50% off.
yes, yeah. So if your date goes wrong, at least you get that half off. If you're still paying for the day, might as well get that half off.
I
There
love
you
it.
go.
And Sundays, we're doing the weekend wind down. So if you've not seen it, basically, we're coming here, we're doing some content. We're like asking people red flag or deal breaker. We're asking Hinge questions. It's super fun.
Just playing some games.
Playing some games. Sometimes inviting our Hinge and Tinder dates.
Just for shits and giggles.
Why not? So
Why
I'm
not?
sorry, why not? But yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of what we wanted to cover.
Yeah.
And yeah, thanks, Sammy, for
Thank you,
hosting.
Sammy.
We're excited. I mean, we're still in talks about this, but maybe I'm letting the cat out of the bag a little bit early.
Oh.
But, I mean, we want to take our relationship with Swipe of the City a little bit more serious.
Oh.
And in person, so
Are you gonna
hopefully
wipe us up?
Hey, let's go. We're definitely gonna have, maybe more on-site events.
I love
especially as
it.
the world's coming up.
We're here for it.
Available, definitely.
Yeah.
I love it.
So
Well,
be on the lookout for some updates with the partnership between Wanderlust and Swipe. And come visit for those of you who are in Austin.
cheers.
I already finished mine, but cheers.
Daniela 60, what is it, 68?
Daniela
Hannah,
Hannah
68.
68.
Daniela Hannah 68, what up, girl?
And
And